Uh, Hello everyone. In this video, I want to show you how you can use your C or C++ code into the Python by binding it. So now, firstly, what you have to do is that you need to have your C compiler installed, and I would recommend you go through the site. I'll be providing you in the link. And here there is a guided steps, and you can also watch a YouTube video and how to install it. Once you're done with it, I would also suggest you to go to the documentation of the C types, and obviously we are going to use it. And I'm not going to show much about it. Like I'm just giving like what are the possible things that we could do with this. And I'm going to do a simple Gauss function here. And I have already written my C++ code in which I'm doing a Gaussian sum. So what is a Gaussian sum? Like you're just adding the numbers from 1 to n, and it's going to output that. The reason for me doing is to validate this Gaussian sum is equals to like the traditional way of you adding like what is 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on up to the number n. So you're basically using a for loop, and a for loops is known for its time complexity. So I just wanted to validate this block. And later I can also see that how fast it is in comparison to the Python. And I have already defined my function, which is performing the same thing in like in Python code. And it is obviously like a turtle. Anyway, now once you have already written your function, and what this extend C does is that so the whatever the library that I'm going to use now, like I'm going to use Ctypes. So this is an inbuilt library that helps you to bind your C code into your Python file, and that is really amazing. Like Python is rich for its for machine learning tasks and many other tasks. And it is also very renowned for its, you know, like it's very slow. It's very goddamn slow. So in order to do evade that, and if you're very comfortable in working with other low-level program, what I want to do is that here is already the command that I have already provided. And you have to make sure that if you are using C++, and you should use G++, and this is the shared file, and I'm going to use this as a DLL format. So based on your OS, like what operating system you're using, that would differ. And for my scenario, I'm using Windows, so with a 64-bit architecture, and my code will be compiled for a 64-bit based architecture. I can use this main.cl file on any platform which have the same sort of configuration. And this is like main.cpp. This is the file name that I have. So I'm just binding it into C executable because you cannot directly work with C++. So you can just simply use the C in a C itself. Okay, and now what I want to do is that I'm just going to simply copy this, and I'm going to paste, and it's going to give me the compile code. I'm just going to delete it again. So now if I'm going to run it again, so it's going to give me the DLL extension where I can execute this shareable file into my Python code. Now I have this file, right? Now I have a C types. What I want to do is that let's create basically a function, like I want to call it path. And in here, I want to say whatever the file name that we have. And the path that I'm passing is a string. And I'm going to return and os dot path dot. Okay, I have not imported the uh, os dot path dot join, and after that os dot get cwd. So that's going to fetch you the current path of your system, and you're simply going to pass the file name. And after doing so, what I want to do is that, and along with this, I'm going to use the C types CDL. So basically, you're reading the compiled, shareable compiled code into your system. So this is the command that you would use dot ctypes dot cdl. So where you can run your code. Now, what I have to do is that I'm going to say simply result is equals to I have a path, and what is the file name that I have is main.ll dll. Okay, and um, okay. Now first, let me just print the results. Like I have a result, and I have a sum, and what I want to do is I want to do the sum of 10 numbers. So if it's executing or not. Okay, let me just clear the screen. Okay. You could see here I'm getting like sum of 10 numbers is 55, and if you keep increasing, it's going to increase its uh, 50, 5050, and so on. Okay. Now Aku is working, and like I'm able to utilize this C code, and I'm able to bind it in a Python with the C types. And this is already inbuilt. You don't need to pip install or anything. It is already inbuilt. And also you need to make sure that what version of Python that it is compatible with. I'm using 3.11.6, I think. Okay. Basically, where can you see? Yeah, here. Here you can see that I'm using 3.11.6. It's a 64-bit. Okay. Now, also, there is another thing that you need to note that, like sometimes you would find a case where it is not working. It is not working. So in order to resolve that, you have to basically specify its data types. So although you are using your C binding into your Python, but it must know its data types, like how it is handling. In order to do that, since I have already mentioned, sorry, this is here. Since I already mentioned here the result, and I have this sum dot archetypes. In this archetypes, you can have any number of arguments. For instance, I have only one argument in here, but still you would have to provide your arguments in a list because you can have 10 arguments or 20 arguments. It depends on your code. So here I'm going to mention ctypes dot what is it? I have a long. So I'm going to, it's a C long. This is the format that I have. So here is a long, and this is the format that I'm giving here. And also, you also have to specify the return type too. Um, okay, I really find it very comfortable using this auto completion. Okay, it's going to give you the return type, and here it is also the return type is also long. So once I have specified it, I have no, and if you're using some of the functions where you have a multiple variables, and you would have to provide the list of numbers, list of variables in here. Uh, for your sake, what I will be doing is that I will be using a double actually. I'll say add. Here I'll say double A, and there will be, and what I will be doing is return AB. So it's going to give me some results. Okay, and this is done. This is being compiled. And if you want to call it, you can specify, you can just copy it, and you can say add. And the data type is actually double, so I'm going to remove it. See double, and this is also going to return me the double, and I can basically test it with add function. And oh, sorry, I almost forgot. Like you also would need to provide, because I'm having this two arguments right here, and I almost forgot to specify that because I'm having a double A and double B. So I would have to specify it there. And I have this two. numbers. So I'm just going to simply copy it. And if I wanted to see the results, so okay, where am I getting error? Hmm. Oh, yeah, C type. Okay, I'm getting a value, some value. I can think about the number. Okay, you could see that this is basically faster, and I'm still not able to see uh, the difference. Okay, here it hits the difference. It took about 3.1 to 9 seconds, and if I want to increase more, it executed about zero point 0.8 seconds, and Python is still running. I think it's going to take forever. Yeah, it nearly took about how much? About 30 times your code is faster in this very specific case. Like you could see that how much you're able to optimize, like if you're just using your C binding into Python code. And you don't necessarily have to do the same functionality with this because you're already getting the same result. And you could use this to perform another task that are more efficient, and you can use the Python features and the low level, the low level code. Okay. Anyway, that is all for today, and thank you for watching.